Okay, hello. My name's Donovan Stroud.
Hey, I'm Dan Danner.
And that is Dan Danner. I am in his house, and we are recording Don't Go Postal. Thanks for coming on, Dan. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
I brought you on because I find you to be hilarious. I wanted you to tell about your comedy career thus far and everything that entails.
Okay.
So we'll get into that a little bit later, but for right now, just tell people that don't know you something about you.
Hello, I'm Dan Danner. I'm a professional idiot, world traveler, extraordinaire, and I don't know, I like doing ridiculous nonsense on stage. That's pretty much my specialty. The concepts of premise, setup, and punchline, I try, but that's not usually my style.
The art of comedy without comedy. That's what you put
Yeah.
in Dannerland.com, which everyone should go visit and read the entire thing.
It's a real quick one-page website, Dannerland.com.
Dannerland.com, just read. All you got to do is just read for 2 minutes, and you will find enjoyment out of that 2 minutes.
Yeah, do you know where I got that line from? The art of comedy without comedy?
Where?
Enter the Dragon.
Art of what without what?
Well, it was when the Australian guy was fucking with Bruce Lee, and he was like, "What's your style?" And Bruce Lee looks at him and goes, "My style? You could call it the art of fighting without fighting." And the dude was like, "Art of fighting without fighting, show me some of it." And he was like, "Well, don't you think we need more room?" He was like, "Well, where?" And he goes, "That island. We could take this boat." So the Australian guy goes, "Ah, you first." So the Australian guy gets the little boat, right? And then Bruce just lets out the line.
Wow, I didn't know Bruce Lee was going to Epstein Island like that.
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
For real. Well, plus, that movie Enter the Dragon, that's what they based Mortal Kombat on. But yeah, the philosophy, Bruce Lee was a big influence on me growing up, and part of my comedic style. It's the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. It's the way of the intercepting fist, or foot, whatever, but it sounds better with fist. It's just be flexible, keep open, absorb everything, keep what is useful to you, and just discard the rest.
I mean, the people that fist, they usually do absorb everything.
Way to interject some of that into some of my philosophy. Appreciate that. We appreciate that, with some fisting jokes.
Dude,
I'm trying to teach some people, trying to help people out. And you're all like, yeah, fucking fisted and shit. All right, way to go.
I always try and joke, man. I'm always trying to be funny. Like, even when...
No. You do or you do not. There is no try.
Yeah. That just, for some reason, just like you saying no just right then was, for me, just like the art of comedy without comedy. Like, no! Like, no jokes.
Yeah, pretty
Won't
much.
allow it.
That's pretty much what I do. It's just no jokes, just fucking, be an idiot.
Nah, dude, you killed. You were at the comedy competition. I believe you got 4th place.
I got the honorable mention because Hilo Art, the people running the show, they decided we're going to give a 4th place, just give somebody that we like, not judges, not based on, the judges are professional comedians, we're judging on a, professional basis. The Hilo Art, just their favorite, and they were going to give back the $10 entry fee, which I was, lucky enough and fortunate enough to win that spot, and I was grateful for it. And it's actually, I'm quite impressed because honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to be there. But I decided at the last minute to go, and I pulled that set list out of my ass as I was doing it.
I mean, the headlining set, for those that don't know, I headlined the Sandbar in Irma for the first time last night, which you were there for.
That was good. I was impressed.
I really appreciate it. I'm still reaming from that. And
I saw that, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was not performing, by the way. I came out to support Donovan Stroud comedy and the guys. And yeah, man, good job, man.
Yeah, I
was impressed. I was happy to see you do it, and you didn't chicken out, and you didn't just like, I can't think of anything, so I'm done now. You didn't run away from it, man. You did your thing. Fuck. All right, here's another fucking joke for you. That was great.
Thank you, man. And there's been times where I have shut down. Yeah.
I know. I've seen you.
You've seen it.
I've seen you do it. I booed you relentlessly.
Yeah, I do get caught in my head for sure.
I get caught giving head sometimes behind the Walmart.
You're a lot lizard?
What?
You never heard of a lot lizard?
What the hell's that?
My buddy Elvis Comedy.
I know exactly what a lot lizard is.
Okay.
Come on. I used to make a living doing that.
Why'd you stop?
Just the taste.
Just get COVID. You won't have to worry about it.
Man, I ain't getting no fucking COVID. I got vaccinated.
Yeah, that'll stop it.
I'm not stupid. I got vaccinated.
That'll stop it. Don't do that, Dan. This is not. This is not.
Make it all political, right?
Right. I don't.
Dude, it's all good. I don't care that you voted for Trump. I don't give a shit.
Oh no, Trump's Illuminati, man. I 100% believe Trump is Illuminati.
What? Illuminati's it's not real.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't, dude.
It's 100%. It's people that believe that they have a royal bloodline that have basically inbreeded for inbreeded, not people who are inbred. No, it's people who inbreed within their family. They breed within their family.
I used to teach English to when I was over in the Netherlands to people as English as a second language. So when I hear just terrible English from native English speakers, I have to give them shit.
No, it's cool. I understand. Miss Sullivan?
No. You don't understand.
Miss Sullivan was my 5th grade teacher. She taught me a lot. 5th grade English teacher. But obviously didn't teach me about inbreeded.
You know what? I'm stealing that. That's just
take it.
Inbreeded.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we are in South Kakalaki, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of inbreeded going on.
Oh, there's inbreeded and inbreaded. Inbreaded's the secret to good fried chicken. It's in the South. You gotta get it inbreaded.
That's a joke too. That's a joke right there. It's like a good thing about the South and the food, man. It's inbreaded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, I used to tell people over there in Europe, I was like, dude, you know we're the best, because they'd have a KFC in the Netherlands, of course, right? But I used to tell people, you know, in the States, KFC, that's like garbage chicken. They're like, really? Where's the best fried chicken? I'd say, dude, the best fried chicken is at a gas station. And it's confusing the hell out of them.
I knew you were about to say that. It's before you even said anything about a gas station. I was just like Faro Road. Like I used to deliver out in Eau Claire, and on Faro Road there's this gas station. I think it's like around the 7,000 block, kind of near like Columbia College.
Okay, yeah.
And they had this like really spicy chicken that I got delivered in the mail one day. Like spicy. I love spicy food. I don't know about you.
No, I like me some spice. Not too much, but I like a little spice.
I like sweating.
No, that's not for me.
I get a little sweat, and I will get a head high.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I like getting high regularly.
High.
Yeah,
you just like getting high. It's legal. Oh, is it you high? Yes, sir. On what? These peppers. I've got a Carolina Reaper in my butthole, officer.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids. Do not stick a Carolina Reaper in your butthole.
You ever thought about having a fan base that just does everything you say?
Oh God, no, that'd be terrible. You kidding me? With great power comes great responsibility, man. Fuck that.
Carolina Reapers up the ass is all we're saying.
Carolina Reaper up the ass, hot sauce. That's $1 billion idea right there.
Hot sauce you pour into your butt?
No, that's the name of the hot sauce. Carolina Reaper up your ass.
Oh,
that's the name. You don't actually pour the hot sauce up your butt. Then again, because this is why you can't have a fan base that does everything you say. Because I've heard about youngsters dipping tampons in vodka and then shoving it up their butt.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
Yeah, and it bypasses the liver, which is don't do that. That's insane. You can get severe alcohol poisoning.
A buddy of mine needs a new liver now. Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he got drunk though. He was
lit. Oh, sure, yeah. He was lit real quick.
He had a great time that night.
I'm sure he had, yeah. Wake up in the ICU.
Speaking of great times and Carolina Reapers, we are in South Carolina.
Yes, we are.
Why? What made you come here? And are you originally from here?
No, I grew up a military brat. My father was in the Army. When he retired, it was here in South Carolina, and I basically from the 6th grade on. Grew up here. When I turned 18, I went to...
I gotta correct you on grew up here.
Oh, did I? Ooh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, fancy that.
It just happens, man.
No, it's a southern influence, man. It's a southern influence,
You're
man.
blaming me.
I know, right?
This country hick.
You trying to fucking tit for tat? I mean, come on, man. No, fair enough. But basically grew up here, went to school. After high school, I dropped out of high school, immediately got my GED, and went off to art school in Miami.
You went to art school?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything just because of the experience and the people that I met.
Was was worth it.
But it was definitely worth it. But I mean, the cost is ridiculous. I realize now. School, unless you're going to be like a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, these kinds of things, you don't really need it. Because like I say, doctor, lawyer, engineer, scientist, these are the people that actually do as a career what they went to school for. Everybody else, nobody does for a living what they went to school for. Nobody. And
yeah, our school really fucked you over, man. For those that can't see the rest of your apartment, there's no furniture. This is it. He only has the guitars. That's it.
I have this corner.
This corner is the
like
entire
a New York shack over here. No
apartment.
toilet, no kitchen, no nothing.
So why did you decide to retire in South Carolina?
No, it was my father is the one who retired.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like why did he decide South Carolina?
Actually, because we had a family here. Because growing up, we didn't really have connections with grandparents or anything like that. His actual blood father was in Greenville. His half sister was in Greenville, so he thought it'd be nice for his children to have family connections. But it turns out the family connections were just kind of terrible fucking people, except for my Aunt Kim. But
no inbreeding within that family.
Yeah, no inbreeding with the chicken at all. And I remember asking him years later. I was like, Dad, because he very proud that he started off as an enlisted man, but he made it to CW2, Chief Warrant Officer, 2nd Class. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe, that was Flint, by the way.
Michigan?
No. Oh, you're too young.
I feel so bad now. You mentioned that place, and I'm drinking this great water.
That's right. If you really anyway, I was thinking about, if you're really into government, then like, hey, let's see, Flint, Michigan, there's poisonous water or whatnot.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's allowed. Like, that's just been going on.
I remember asking my dad years later, like, hey, Dad, as an officer, don't you get a choice of where you get to go next, whatnot? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, how come we never went back to Germany, back to Europe? And he said, oh, well, because, I thought it'd be better for your kids to have a family connection. I didn't know they'd be such shitheads. And I was like, yeah, well, what can you do?
Oh, you asked him that? Okay.
Yeah, because
so you got some closure.
Mm-hmm.
You close to your father?
Not anymore. He's dead.
Oh.
It happens, man. Part of life. No big deal.
Were you close?
Not really.
Okay. What about your mom?
Oh, no.
Not close with her?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Oh, she's a terrible person.
She was your biological mother that raised you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How is she terrible?
No, she's a terrible dude. Terrible person. I'll just leave it at that. Terrible person.
A lot of trauma there?
She's just a terrible person, man.
I mean, for you to not say anything other than that leads me to believe there's some trauma there.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it.
No.
It's not on the subject.
No, it's definitely not on the subject.
Not on the topics.
Yeah, we'll move on from that one. I'll go off on a rant on that one. No thanks.
I kind of want you to. I like talking about that stuff. You don't have to.
No.
That is what this is all about. Don't go postal. It's like, if that's a traumatic thing for you, like.
Oh, not a traumatic thing, but I just prefer not to.
Is there one thing you can give people?
Oh, okay, yeah. My mother is a vile cunt. May she burn in hell.
She's dead?
When she finally... No. This bitch, no. When she finally dies, she will not join my father in the light. She will go back to the dark where she belongs.
That's good enough.
That's my honest feelings about that. That's all I say about that.
And we'll leave that.
I'll quote a wise man named Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that.
And that's all I got to say about that.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to press the issue on that.
Yeah, you were pressing pretty hard, too. Next time, just press my starfish, but with spit first.
So, how long have you been doing comedy, and like how long, if there are any breaks? What is the whole story?
Oh, jeez, the story of my comedy career.
Yes.
All right, kids, we're gonna hop into the DeLorean, go back to the days of 1998.
The way you started, I thought you were about to say like, I was walking next to Gandalf.
No. Okay, I went to art school in Miami for a year, and then I transferred over to SCAD in Savannah College of Art and Design. Did that for about a year or so. Maybe.
Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay, SCAD. I didn't know they had that. Wow.
Oh yeah, SCAD is like a major art school, dude. It's still there, still very expensive. Now, back in the day, regular university, I think, is the same cost now, but back in the day, it was like, back in my day, I think a year at USC was like $6,000. Which is, I don't know what it is now, but I think it's like 20. But back in my day, 1 year of art school in Miami was $20,000. Then I went to SCAD and it was again $20,000. But when I went to SCAD, when I was in Miami, I took advertising design, commercial art. I learned about advertising concepts and graphic design, kind of things like this. Which, by the way, I was learning all these things in the graphic design. I was learning by manually, like with the T-square and colored pencils and painting. They had a brand new major that popped up called computer art, and guess what they were teaching?
Code?
Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe stuff. This is right at the cusp of everything was about to change. And then when I went to Savannah, I took video and film because I was always interested in that kind of stuff. But I realized the intro to video class that I had, the professor sucked, and I realized everything that I was learning on my own in the computer lab, the editing lab. This gigantic Avid editing rig from back in those days is ridiculous. And again, it was right at the cusp as technology was changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I'm learning more on my own than I am in this classroom. Why the hell am I paying all this money for this stuff?
Right.
And also, I hated the fact that at both art schools, I had to take like an English class and an algebra class. And I was like,
What's
why?
the point of that? Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, why the hell am I taking an English class? I'm at a university level education. Obviously, I speak, read, and write English rather well. Notice I didn't say, I talk good. You know, I was like, what the hell? And they said, well, you need to have a well-rounded education. And I asked the counselor, I was like, it's about money, isn't it? I said, you can, like, between you, like, just, it's about money, isn't it? And she goes, yeah. I said, oh, and that's when it dawned on me. I was like, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's a bit, I was like, what, 19-year-old kid. I didn't know any better, 19, 20 years old. But now, and then I realized this is a business, and I'm paying the money, but I'm not getting enough out of it.
Not only a business, but a lot of the times a fucking corrupt one.
Oh, I mean, all the time? Yeah.
You look at Harvard, man.
Look
it's
at
just
fucking,
like
look at college-level football players. They make hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars off these younger guys, and they don't get squat.
how crazy is it though? I don't want to get into all that.
Yeah,
I was about to get sidetracked on Harvard, but
anyway,
you're at these art schools, and you realize it's a business.
Yeah, I realized it was business, so I dropped out. I was like, no, enough. My parents were helping me with some loans, but mainly, I was paying for the stuff, and it took me 10 years to pay it off, all that money, which sounds about right, about 40 grand, 10 years. Like if you're, buying a $40,000 car and you're like 19, 20 years old, it's going to take you about 10 years to pay all that off. But came back to Columbia, South Carolina, stayed with the folks, and just started working. What was I doing back then? I've done so many jobs. But during college years, especially at Miami, me and my friend Anthony, our friends group, me and my buddy Anthony were always being very funny, and we always planned on going to like a stand-up comedy show, open mic in Miami, and just going on stage together, because it's very scary to do it your first time, right? So
Go on. You see, I went on. Oh my
no,
God.
we didn't. We didn't go.
Okay.
We chickened out. We never did. And I was just here in Columbia, and I was 21, around 21, 22 at the time. Yeah, 21. And a buddy of mine, I used to go to Art Bar all the time. That was the cool happening place to be down the Vista, because everybody else was at 5 Points, which is more like the USC kind of frat boyish kind of crowd. Whereas the Vista was more like the alternative, kind of rock and roll kind of crowd, or artistic crowd.
A little higher end.
Yeah, a little bit higher end. And so I'd go hang out at Art Bar. That's where I found, this is the cool place to be. And a lot of people back then, I've still heard it these days. Oh, you mean the gay bar? Like, dude, it's not gay. It's gay friendly. We don't care if people are gay. We don't give a shit. You can come and go as you please, whatever. I got laid plenty of times with the ladies, but some guys, no, just with the ladies. But eventually,
you're backtracking real hard.
Yeah, I know, right?
Go ahead and tell the
Backpedaling,
truth.
sucking all the dicks.
Fucking just taking all the dick.
Fucking double fisting, triple fisting. We won't get the foot action in there, but
You got some fisting though. You took all of it.
all just elbow deep, and
right at the fart bar.
I remember right into the fart box. And I remember a buddy of mine. We used to go on the weekends all the time, but a buddy of mine, he told me about, hey, they have this open mic at Art Bar on Tuesdays, and like that space that we're doing open mics now. There's like this that back room where they have the couch little stage over there. That's where they were doing open mics back in those days. There was a bunch of.
When was this? Like in the 80s?
This was 1998.
Oh
okay,
wow.
1998.
You're 22. Okay.
I was like 22, I think. Yeah, 22. Yeah, and I was just doing, because I wrote these funny little poems when I was going to SCAD, and I would just do these funny little ridiculous poems and shit. And the crazy thing was, I actually became as ridiculous as a concept of it that it is, like locally art bar famous, because a lot of people, the open mic was getting, word of mouth was getting good. It was more and more people coming, and I'd always get up there like a comedian. I would try out new material, but I always had bangers that I knew would work. I did Mr. Pigeon, which I still remember that to this day, but the banger that people loved was Stab Your Bitch Ass. I wrote it when I just got, my girlfriend dumped me when I was going to SCAD, and I wrote this fucking poem, funny little poem about, oh, you said you loved me, but then you left me. Stab your bitch ass, stab your bitch ass.
Okay.
And some shit like that, broken-hearted kind of stuff, but everybody related to it for some reason. And I remember on the weekends, I'd be, just getting drunk, partying, dancing around, and I'd go to take a piss, and some dude would walk in behind me and go, hey, you're stab your bitch ass. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah, for real.
This in a bathroom of all places where you could stab somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
With your dick.
Yeah, exactly. But it was kind of strange like that. And then the open mic kept getting bigger and bigger. The dudes would be, most of the time it's like spoken word, poetry. Sometimes people come up there and play an acoustic guitar. The spoken word artist Alley Cat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was there back in
Shout out Alley Cat.
Shout out Alley Cat.
Alley Cat saw you back in the Dizzy.
She remembered me, man. And I was like, holy shit, you remember that? I kind of vaguely remember her, but there's been a lot of alcohol, weed, and concussions in the past 20-something years. But
we'll get into that as well.
And but I remember one night, it was a packed show, and nobody was signing up to do anything. And the host, Christine, she came up to me. She's like, "Hey, Dan." Actually, back then I was still Danny back then. And she goes, "Hey, Danny."
That's so interesting. I went by Donnie for a while.
Yeah, it's more grown up and you use a more adult name at a certain point. But she's like, "Hey, Danny, are you gonna get, nobody signed? I need you to do something." I was like, I just came to hang out tonight. I didn't want to do anything. She goes, please, come on. There's so many people here. We got to do something. I was like, all right, here, give me a. She gave me like the little yellow legal notepad. I was like, give me that and a pen, and I wrote like 5 to 10 minutes of like just actual stand-up comedy, or at least my best impression of what it's supposed to be.
That was your first time of like writing,
actually trying to do stand-up comedy. So I wrote out the shit, got up on stage, and fucking killed it. And when I got done, people it was fucking packed, dude. And when I got done, there was a guy who was actually a touring professional comedian who I think they just got done, or he was there. He was at the Comedy House Theater when it was over here, Blueberry Hill Road, closer to St. Andrews. He was like the feature for, what's her name? Maria something? I can't remember her name, but her voice, you might know her, Mariah, something like that. Her voice, she sounds like she's got a helium tank stuck up her ass, and that was one of her jokes. But she was funny as shit, but he was featuring for her. He told me, hey man, that's awesome. How long have you been doing this? Where else have you been performing? And I was like, what? Here. Yeah. I've been doing it here, and this is the first time. I normally do bullshit. This is the first time I tried to do comedy. And he was like, what the fuck? Dude, you need to go up to the Comedy House Theater and get up there and try it. And so I worked up the courage to actually sign up for an actual real open mic at a real comedy club. So it's officially official. This is real stand-up comedy at a real comedy club. And this is the Comedy House Theater. It's a fucking franchise. A gigantic room, stadium seating and all that shit. And the first time I got up, I bombed.
Talking about the same one that's on Decker now? They used to have another location?
It used to be, that location used to be over here, closer to St. Andrews.
Okay, so you signed up for the open mic, you bombed.
I pretty much bombed. I think I did okay, but I think I bombed.
No, you were pretty sure when you first brought it up. So we'll
just say bombed, yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
I remember just going, I was very raw, very high energy. I don't remember what I was doing. I do remember some bit about how, trying to be relatable, driving down the road and how there's always some fucking jackass just fucking jogging in the middle of the fucking road, and some joke about throwing a fucking stick of dynamite at his ass or some shit.
Stabbing him.
Stabbing him with my dick, yeah. Something like that. But for some reason, but once I did it, and I knew immediately, that's what I tell everybody, if you try stand-up comedy just one time, that's all you gotta do is try it once. Once you're done, whether you kill or whether you bomb, like, if you immediately, as soon as you get off the stage, if you immediately like, yep, I want to go right back up there, then it's for you.
Yes. Dude, I tell people all the time, if you feel like you could get up there, do it at least once.
Yeah, at least one time.
That's so cool that you say that, because that's seriously like my mindset with it. It's like anytime somebody asks me, I'm helpful, nice.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, just get up there,
Just get up there, try it.
Just try it.
Once you're done, if you're like, oh God, never again, okay. Or maybe sometimes I've met a couple of comics that like they bomb so bad they don't go back for another couple years, but that feeling's still there and they go back.
I wish that would happen to some people. Anyways,
yeah.
But, so you bomb at the Comedy House,
and
I just want to keep saying that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, bombed at the Comedy House. But the strange thing was, I remember I don't think I really went back to the art bar open mic scene, like we do nowadays. Because it was like, okay, this is what an actual official comedy club is. This is where I need to be performing. So I think I would do I think they had open mic once a month. So I'd keep trying. So
once a month, that's not much.
Yeah, I know, it was hardcore back in those days.
Wow.
So I did it for about a year. I did it for about a year, and that's when. But no matter what I did or what I tried, when it was like college age crowds, like my own age group, whatnot, I always did pretty decently, pretty well. Very high energy, still raw, kind of out there.
Back when you were 22.
Yeah.
Not now. You're not college age now.
No.
Yeah, you're old as fuck.
Yes, I am.
All right, just wanted to point that out.
It's awesome. Getting older getting older is fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's fucking awesome. I mean, maybe you lose a little fucking hair. Who gives a shit? But so I do well with younger crowds, but the older crowds, no matter what I did, they fucking hated me, man. It's usually older white crowds, and that's a key point. Remember that. So
yeah.
I decided, all right, if you're gonna fucking hate me, then I'm going to give you a reason to hate me. So I started going up on stage dressed up like Jesus, and I'd start ripping on trailer parks and racism and the Bible. And okay, so then I did it a couple times, and finally I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm done with this bit. I'm gonna do like reverse black-white jokes kind of thing, kind of like what Bill Burr's did back in 2014, but I was going to try something like that out. But I show up, and they tell me, oh, hey, the manager wants to see you. And they say, yeah, some little old lady in the front row last time you were here called the corporate office, and you've been banned for 6 months. And I was like, well, fuck, okay. And they told me why, because you dressed up like Jesus. And I was like, is it because I dressed up like Jesus, or because I dressed up like Jesus and called out their bullshit? But it doesn't matter. It's capitalism. They're like, yeah, no, can't have that. I understand now as an adult.
6 months though. That's
harsh.
At a
for
age. Words. Well, not just words.
No.
Yeah, because you were at that point you were a prop comic. Let's be honest.
No, not prop comic. If you've seen
Dannerland, prop comic.
If you see the kind of performance that I do nowadays, imagine a much younger, much more handsome, and skinnier, but way more raw and energetic. And I'm throwing it right in their fucking face. So I understand it. It's not, but at that time, I remember I didn't do open mics at bars and stuff like that anymore, because in my mind it's like, no, this is what comedy is. I have to do this.
I have to do the
official comedy clubs, like the Comedy Zone in Greenville and some other shit they had in Myrtle Beach.
They had a Comedy Zone back then, in '98.
Something like that. I don't remember, dude. It was a long time ago. But
I remember know these places were around so long.
I remember calling up places, actual comedy clubs in South Carolina, and they told me to sign up for their open mics. And I was told, it's like, oh yeah, sure, what's your name? Oh, I'm Dan Danner. And they said, by that time I switched over when I get to the real comedy club. I went, okay, Dan Danner, right? And they told me, oh, yeah, sorry, buddy, we can't have you. And I was like, what? And they said, yeah, we heard about what you did with the G's. They're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I said, yeah, no.
Wow.
So yeah, the corporate
office. So even though you said you would change your act.
It didn't. But I realize now these are real, actual, corporate level franchise comedy clubs. Where as a comedian, when you get a professional level, these are the clubs you want to be working. These are the clubs you want to be headlining, because these are the ones that will pay you the most. So I basically, I kind of got blackballed, or banned, as I call it, banned from the state of South Carolina. So what I did was, I was working at Art Bar at the time as a bartender or whatnot, and eventually turned into the daytime cleanup guy. Eventually I decided I don't want to do that shit anymore. I worked for 6 months as a prep cook and dishwasher, saved up all my money. I was still living with my folks, so I didn't have any bills. I saved up about $2,000, and January 1st, 2000, I headed out. I had my little fucking piece of shit used car and headed towards the fucking sun. I went to California. I went to LA. So I thought about this. I'll wait for this part. But so official comedy career was about let's see, about 6 months of Art Bar Open Mic, 1 year of the Comedy House, 6 months being banned, and then I headed off to LA because I was like, well, I can't do comedy here. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. And I was just fucking focused. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. So yeah, I saved up $2,000 and looked up on the internet and found a place. The prices were way different back then in LA. I managed to get a $450 studio apartment in Koreatown, which is unheard of now because I've looked it up. That same place is now like $1,500. It's fucking ridiculous. But I headed out there on January 1st, 2000. In the year 2000.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah, for real. It took me 4 days of driving 12 to 14 hours a day, each day, because I was on a mission. And I knew I wanted to be a part of the Comedy Store. The Holy Trinity is the Laugh Factory, the Improv, and the Comedy Store. For the Laugh Factory, you have to... Their open mics are on Sundays, just like the Comedy Store, but you have to get in line and stay in line all day long. Fuck that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was for the Improv. I don't remember the deal. But I remember at the Comedy Store, you'd go, you'd show up, sign your name on a list, 30 spots, sign your name on the list. You'd come back at around 4:30 in the afternoon. They'd bring out a bucket with 30 tickets. Now, there's only 15 spots, okay, but 30 tickets. So you pull the ticket. If it's blank, come back next week. If there's a number, well, you got a spot tonight, and that's your order on the set. Like, if you're number 1, you're opening. If you're number 15, then you're number 15.
Would there ever be more than 30?
No, there's always just 30. And some people would keep writing in, like, oh, maybe, like, no, dude, that's not how it works. There's 30 tickets. That's it. 15 spots, 30 tickets. Now, I got there in January, okay? I left January 1st. I got there January 5th. Immediately jumped on it. I got there in early January, okay? It took until about the middle of March before I finally, every week, go there, right? Sign up as early as I possibly could. Get there like 7 o'clock in the morning, sign my name, drive back home, go back 4:30, pulling blank tickets for weeks, till finally I got a fucking spot. Okay, and that was about 3 months of blank tickets. Let's see. So again, combine the 3 months of no performance with blank tickets and 6 months of being banned, no comedy, just sitting there, going to work, coming home, writing jokes, okay? Once I finally got a spot, kind of my luck changed, and I would have, like, get better luck. I'd still get a blank here and there, but mostly I'd always get tickets, always pull tickets. And then about 8, from the point of, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, November? I thought it was October. It's either October or November. It was about 8 months later. I don't know. It's a long time ago. Like I said, there's been a lot
of... looking at you, just going through in your head. And like, you literally, like, you had November in your pinky or whatever, and you looked at your pinky as if it was November, and you're like, it's like, I don't remember November being the day.
I'm pretty sure it was October, though. Maybe it was October. There's something that I feel in the force. I think it was October. But basically, finally got a ticket, and 8 months later, the rule is, also, when you're doing an open mic at the Comedy Store back in those days, when you get your ticket, you get 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3. 3 minutes to fucking impress. Because this is no bullshit. This is the fucking Comedy Store. World fame. This is Richard Pryor. This is Sam Kinison. This is Robin Williams. This is fucking Jim Carrey. This is the fucking big leagues. This is not a joke. So you got 3 fucking minutes to impress, and you better fucking impress, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you think people, like, at a local, like, let's say at the Art Bar open mic, if people are, like, complaining about, oh, I'm not getting a spot and this, that, or whatever, or some shit, it's like, dude, be lucky that we have. You have no idea how hard, because it's hardcore out there.
3 months of blanks, man.
3 months of blanks, and then once you finally get a spot, you got 3 minutes to impress, okay? And so... If also to become a paid regular, then the thing is, somebody who is a paid regular will have to sponsor you. They have to recommend you, okay? So for a showcase. So if you get a showcase, which is always going to be on Sunday nights as well, after the regular open mic, then the showcase guys come up. Then you'll do first showcases for 5 minutes, okay? And Mitzi Shore is always there to watch every showcase personally, okay? Which is always really cool because she, R.I.P. Mitzi, but. Very powerful woman in the industry. If you pissed Mitzi off, you're fucking done. you're not going to be working in LA. You're fucking, if you seriously pissed her off, you're fucking done, son.
Would she get pissed off from material?
No, like, well, I mean, if you got up and said some anti-Semitic kind of crazy shit, just shit.
Is she Jewish?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't fucking matter, but I'm like, people that were like, said anti-Semitic, but they were serious about shit, just doing, you can always tell when somebody's doing racist or whatever jokes, you can tell when they're like serious about it,
I think so.
Putting a kind of twist to make it seem, but if you're basically, or you did something bad, or like, you harassed a fucking woman in the wrong way, kind of shit, all kinds of fucking shit, just
right,
being a shithead, basically, you'd be, and she found out, you pissed her off, you're fucking done, son.
Making fun of somebody's toes if they have sandals on, and they're like actually somebody who's like a regular at the comedy store.
No, nothing like that.
I've done that before. That's why I was inserting that.
Oh, geez.
They weren't a regular at the comedy store, but they were friends with the host.
Oh.
And I was making fun of his toes because they were ugly. And apparently he's got some sort of mental issues as well.
Okay. No, that's not your fault.
And he used to bully the host, but then like the host of the comedy show, but then like they became friends after.
Oh.
Created a bond. And so the fact that I was making fun of his toes upset the host, and then the host kicked me out. Like literally threw me out.
Okay, wow.
Like put their hands on me and threw me out, for sure.
What the fuck?
That was a real thing. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you who it was after.
Okay, cool. That's funny. Okay, where was it? So you get your first serial case. It's basically don't piss Missy off, because then you have to leave LA basically, because you're fucked. You can try to go to New York, but guess what? It's Missy fucking Short's, the comedy store. They're gonna hear about you in New York if she wants to.
You go to the Laugh Factory. They're like, we know Missy.
Yeah, dude. Like, hell no. You're the guy who fuck off. But you get 5 minutes to do a showcase. If you pass, and Missy will tell you herself if you pass or fail, then you come back the following week. You will do 10 minutes. Okay. If you pass, you come back the next week for a final showcase of doing 15 minutes, because that is a standard set for opening professional comedian. When you become a paid regular, you will be doing 15-minute sets, whether you're doing the original room or the belly room. I never got to the main room. I wasn't there long enough to develop that to get that good. But so I went and did the 5-minute. Luckily, I got very lucky. It took me 8 months after my first spot ticket. 8 months to get a sponsorship from a paid regular. It was Bobby Lee, who and I owe that guy for that, because that was an amazing thing that he did for me, to say, hey, this guy is to say this guy deserves a showcase to become a paid regular.
He gave you some good fortune.
Yes, he did, and
that's a
little Asian joke there. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, don't worry, he would appreciate that. I never forgot what he said. My first showcase for the 5 minutes. I never forgot it. I'm so grateful. If you ever see this, Bobby, thank you so much. I never forgot it. He said, "This guy is the strongest amateur I've ever seen."
That's
I was
a hell
20.
of a compliment.
Yeah, no shit. I was 23 years old. Now I had a big fucking ego back then too. Cause I was a fucking idiot. I'm glad I got that bullshit out of the way. Of course, man. Went straight to my fucking head like dumbass kid. But I just fucking went for it, man. And so I did the 5-minute showcase. I passed. Next week I came back. I did the 10-minute showcase, and I got off the stage, and I walked over to Mitzi's like, "Hey, Dan, don't worry." Everybody, when they talk about Mitzi, they all do the voice. She goes, "Dan, come here." So I walk over to her, and she goes, "Good job, Dan, you made it." And I was like, "Oh, great, so I'll come back next week and do the 15 minutes, right?" And she goes, "No, you made it. I didn't have to do the 15-minute fucking showcase, man. I did it. I actually did all this shit that I went through. I chased my dream was to be a professional comedian, but not anywhere, but at the fucking Comedy Store. And I went out there and chased it, and I fucking did it.
Yeah.
8 months, 11 months basically. It took me something like that, 11 months. After I got there, and I remember going outside, out back of the Comedy Store, lit up a cigarette, and I was just sitting there by myself. Nobody else was there. And there was like a full moon. I remember watching it and going, holy shit, I did it. This is my movie moment, but there's no movie orchestra in real life. That's weird. No, 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 no.
Jurassic
Park. The only thing I could think of.
That's the only one you would do.
There's the only thing I could think of, and so I did that, and then
you
I
look
did
like a fucking pterodactyl, Dan.
I know, right? Fucking caw bitches. And so I did comedy there for the Comedy Store and a couple of spots. I had some cool. I mean, there's tons of opportunities out there in LA, but The honest truth was I wasn't ready for it. I was way too young, emotionally immature, and just it was very lonely out there too. I mean, it's a pretty crazy place out there. And I don't like big cities, but I remember I was there for like about 3 years. Then I came back to South Carolina. Decided, let me take a break from this. I was there back in South Carolina for about a year and a half. So I set myself up though. I kept my stuff in storage in LA, and I didn't want to lose my stuff. So I came back a year and a half later, and I was there for like another 4 months, and decided, yeah, this. I remember now why I left the first time. Is like, this LA sucks. I don't want to be here. This is not for me. And I remember I was still getting spots at the Comedy Store. I think like a couple.
Even after being gone for a year and a half, you came back and they were like, "Yeah, here's
well,
a show."
I was still getting. I think I was getting like belly room spots. Like I think 5 or 10 minute spots in the belly room. But I had to re-showcase for Mitzi, and I got up and I remember doing it in front of like 3 people. By the way, when I turned pro. No, I was turned pro. I was a paid regular at the Comedy Store. When I finally got
that's
it,
pro.
That's pro to me. I don't care what anybody says. I did it in front of 5 people. But when I re-showcased, I did it in front of 3 people. And I remember just when I got about to finish up, and I got the light, and I told Mitzi, I said, Mitzi, thank you so much for everything, for letting me be here, re-showcase, and the growth and the freedom that you gave me to experiment and try anything and everything, within reason, sometimes a little bit much. But thank you so much for everything, but LA is not for me. I'm leaving LA. And then I got off the stage, and the poor bastard that was coming up after me, because Mitzi was like, Dan, come here. And the guy who's like trying to do his jokes and shit, she was not paying attention to him at all. Oh, sorry, buddy. Because she was like, do you need anything? Do you need a place to stay? Do you need a job? She didn't want me to go. She offered me like a place to, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm all packed up and everything.
That must be the Jewish in her, because people house the Jews, and now she wants to house regular people.
Israeli people? What?
regular
people, yes.
I was saying people that aren't Jewish are regular.
Yeah, real nice. But no, she had like a history of doing that for like back in the day, like in the 80s and early 90s and stuff. People that, she like did the same thing for like, I think for like Kinnison and a couple other people back in the day. Yeah, she offered it to me, and I was just like, no, I thank you so much, but this just, LA isn't for me. I think I'm going to try to go to New York. She said, okay, good luck, Dan. Then I came back to South Carolina, and I thought about it, and I just kind of walked away from stand-up comedy. I could have gone to the, comedy house again and whatnot. I just didn't.
Did you do your Jesus act in LA at all?
No. Oh, that reminds me, actually, 2 years after becoming a paid regular, I was in LA, did a set at the Original Room, did 15 minutes, and I go outside afterwards, go have a cigarette, and I'm just sitting on this little wall that's out there, and there's this black dude sitting there, and I was like, hey dude, how's it going? Make friends with fellow comedians. And I was like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, I'm Dan. He goes, oh, I'm Smokey. I was like, cool, man. Hey, Smokey, where are you from? And Smokey's like, oh, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was like, cool, man. He goes, where are you from? And I said, oh, I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. And he goes, you're the Jesus guy. And I was like, holy shit, how do you know that? And he's like, dude, there is still a fucking urban legend about the crazy white boy who got up on stage dressed up like Jesus in the Southeast. It's like, that was you. I thought your name sounded familiar. And I was like, no fucking way, yeah. So there was an urban legend of this in the Southeastern Circuit of the crazy white boy.
That's hilarious.
That was
man.
me. That was me. So
wow. Weird. Well, thank you for telling that. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, that experience kind of still to this day. I still some of the guys that the class of 2000, if you will, the guys that I were coming up with. I keep track of them. And I see where they're at. John Caparillo, Dave Mishevitz.
John Cap was
Oh yeah.
He was a Comedy Store regular.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I discovered...
I hope he still has that Thundercat shirt that I bought him.
Dude, I just discovered John Caparulo.
Yeah.
I literally, stumbled upon his Instagram page the other day.
Yeah, that's Cap, man. We should call him, he just go by Cap.
Yeah, he still
he's
does.
from, Ohio or some shit. But yeah, it's a cool dude, man. Really cool dude.
He made a lot of money off of, the movie roles he got and stuff. I looked on his IMDb and stuff.
Yeah,
he's done some movie roles, and then, his Instagram, he's got pictures of his fucking nice ass house. I'm like, damn, you only gotta do 2 or 3 good movies, and you're set.
Oh, dude. Plus, he's been working. Yeah, I remember back in those days, he was getting corporate gigs because the Comedy Store. If you were regular at the Comedy Store, they would send you out for shit.
Did you try and get any acting roles or anything?
I didn't try. They sent me out to an audition once.
What happened?
I didn't get the part because I'm about to tell you what it is. You guys will know why. Now remember, I was just a paid regular at the Comedy Store. I did not have an agent. I did not have a manager. I wasn't. I didn't have.
You didn't try for that when you became a regular or anything, like.
No, I was just focused on trying to be the best comedian I could possibly be. Because here's holy shit, I'm a paid regular at the fucking Comedy Store. This is the fucking big leagues, man. So if I can get good and develop here, get good enough, then I can like the way it would work was. You keep growing and developing. You know, you show up there as an amateur. Mitzi didn't. The word was that Mitzi didn't like it if you were already developed, already professional level. Then you show up there. She didn't really like that too much. She liked homegrown. She liked to help the young ones kind of grow and whatnot. You know, Jewish mom kind of thing. Help the young ones grow.
Right, and if they haven't learned any bad techniques,
that kind of bad habits is better.
Because then if they have those and they stand by those, it's kind of hard to break that.
Yeah, exactly. And she would. You know, like if you grow and you develop there and you become, get really good at it. Because again, look, the Comedy Store, even though like the Laugh Factory and the Improv, they would get more like television opportunities. Because the TV executives, they would hang out there more to watch for talent. Because these folks, they would kind of, Laugh Factory and Improv would kind of, with their amateurs, they would have kind of more like, hey, you guys better kind of keep it clean, kind of thing. So TV and whatnot. But Comedy Store, Mitzi was like, you do what you want. So that's, I had free reign to do whatever the hell within reason. Sometimes I push that a bit, but
when did you ever push it? Do you mind telling
like
us
the time that it wasn't a joke. The time that I was drunk on stage and just because I wanted to see what it would be like. I still do shit like that. I'll do things that let's see what this is like. Let's see what happens. I was walking on the tables, drunk, and then I slipped and fell into a sitting position in the chair. And the whole audience gasped, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done being a dumbass. I'm going to take my stupid ass right back on that stage now. Sorry, everybody. And I got back on stage. And Mitzi was watching when that happened.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I got off. I said, okay, I don't remember what I was talking about because, I was fucking half drunk. Guess what? When I slipped and fell in that sitting position, I got such a shot of adrenaline into my system that the fucking sober in an instant.
Yeah.
Because I realized what just happened, where I am, and who the fuck is watching me do it at the back of the room.
And you could have hit your head on the table.
Oh, it could have been bad. It could have been real bad.
Yeah.
So I got back on stage, finished up the set, went to the back, and I said, Mitzi, was that okay? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so stupid of me.
Oh, Dan, you don't have to say sorry.
That's no, she just goes, terrible. See, that's how you know he didn't fucking meet her. He didn't fucking meet her.
Yeah, yours is spot on.
She just goes...
As soon as you did your impression, I was like, he's not lying about this.
No, she just goes, it's okay, Dan. I think she was because she realized that, she knew that I realized, oh shit, I fucked up big time right there. Never knew and no.
And she knew that you saw that.
Oh yeah, because the way I was like, that was so stupid. I'm so sorry. And she was like, it's okay, Dan. It's like, I won't be doing that shit again. She goes, okay.
This is kind of like a side topic. I just want to say is like, it's really admirable to see when somebody is willing to admit that they fucked up.
Yeah, kids, whenever you fuck up, you gotta own that shit. Don't lie, don't deny, don't try to gaslight, say, no, that was you, or don't do that shit. Own your fucking mistakes, because you're gonna get a lot of respect. The people in the positions of authority and power over you, you're gonna earn the respect that way. And plus, look, if you fuck up, if I was an employer and you were my employee, and you fuck something up, but you didn't tell me, and then I find out about it, that, hey, why is this fucked up? Who did this? And
that's
then,
worse.
No, that is the fucking worst. If you say, look, sorry, boss, I accidentally, I fucked this thing up here, whatever it is, I fucked it up on accident, not on purpose, I'm sorry, but I need to make you aware of this so that they can go. They might get pissed off, like, well, thanks for letting me know. Because trust me, your bosses and your employers, they have dealt with people that have fucking lied and denied shit. And they can't stand it. Now that I'm an adult, I understand it too. Fuck that shit. If you fuck up, own it. Admit to it. You can be in you won't be in trouble, okay? And if they fire you, then you just go get another job. What's the big fucking deal?
That's why I'm always like an advocate of the truth.
Yeah.
Because, if you just flat out told kids, like, Santa's not fucking real. If you just, and spoiler alert, any kids that have listening.
Yes, for the children listening to us swear and talk about fisting.
Yeah, there's some kid. There's kids that like see the Sandbar comedy show go on, and they'll like be standing outside like, ooh, what's this going on? Like, and they just see like us like standing there talking into a microphone. I guess like the concept of comedy to a kid is probably like, I don't know.
Oh, it depends on the kid. I knew what it was when I was a kid, and that's what always attracted me to it.
I didn't know what it was until I was fucking like, I went to a comedy show and just like didn't even appreciate it whatsoever. Yeah, I was co-founder of a rap label after I dropped out of community college, and I was willing to go like 100% on this thing. I was one of the rappers that we had. We had a rapper named Taylor, and it was called Plug Incorporated.
Plug Incorporated.
Because like you know the weed dealer, they're called the Plug.
Oh, okay.
We also dealt weed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
statute of limitations has passed.
Yes, for sure. I don't even know where I was going with that. What did I start off saying about it? Comedy show. Yeah, I was so proud of just like having a comedy label. The host of the show was just like, and I was there to support my friend Tommy. Shout out Tommy Lubecki, I think is how you say his last name. He's not. I don't know if he's doing comedy anymore. He's settled down now with his Brazilian girlfriend. Congrats, Tommy, on that.
Brazilian, nice.
I think fiance now. So,
cool.
Good job, Tommy. Seriously, good job.
Nice.
Anyways, shout out Tommy. I was at Tommy's comedy show. He was doing it, and the host was just roasting everybody.
Nice.
Everybody in the crowd. And he sees me along with the rest of my Plug Inc., rap label, sitting on a couch in the very back. Like, it was like a couch and then a couple other things in the very back of the room. And he starts going down the line. He's like, "What do you do for a living?" And like points to my roommate who was going to college at the time. He hadn't dropped out, so he had that as his thing. He's like, "I'm a student," And goes to the next guy, who was also my roommate, and he was also like half in the rap label as well. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm a student," and it gets to me, and I'm just like, with all the pride and just ego, I just go, co-founder of a rap label.
Yeah.
And I got fucking roasted. He said that we look like professional couch sitters. That's probably like the only thing that we do with the rap label. And he wasn't wrong. He labeled us correctly and roasted the shit out of us.
Nice.
I wish I knew who that guy was, because I would book him right now.
Nice. That's fucking awesome.
Well, dude, seriously, thank you for telling me the comedy store story. I definitely wanted to have that on Don't Go Postal podcast.
No problem.
The Sandbar show, I actually modeled that after the comedy store for a while. When I first started it, everybody got 15 minutes, and I would do 6 comedians, and then like the last person do like 20, 25 headline. I didn't do. I don't have the headlining gig last night, dude. I don't have fucking. I got a good 15. That's what I'm telling people.
Yeah, I mean, if you really sit down, like I think last time you asked me, I said, well, I think I probably got an hour or so. But when I thought, I was like, probably have an hour's worth of material, but good material, like stuff I could actually take on the road and make money with. I'm pretty sure I've got a solid 30. But as far as like actual material, I really have to look through, get the notebooks out and shit.
And you adapt, like you improv. You come up with shit on the spot.
I don't know. I don't think I do. Because I don't write jokes that way. Like when I heard, first time I heard about this was Tom Segura, actually. I was watching one of his podcasts on YouTube, and he talks about how he likes to write on stage. And I was like, what? So he'll just get up on stage and just nothing planned and go blah, blah, blah. And I tried that a few times because I remember back in the day I heard about how Jim Carrey had a fucking making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year in Vegas stuff doing the singing impressionist and whatnot. He threw out his entire act, would go up at the Comedy Store, completely just nothing. Would not, he had A-grade materials getting paid for, like making so much money in Vegas. He started it completely over. And I was fascinated by it, so I tried to go up with nothing, bomb and bomb and bomb, because that's part of it. I can't write on stage. I feel like I'm cheating the audience out of a show.
I just feel like I've seen you come up with jokes on the spot. I don't know if it's written or not.
I'm getting more and more used to these days, like crowd work kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, more like crowd work stuff, but actually bits and full blown. No, I can't do that on stage. I mean, I've gotten good enough I've gotten to a skill level where I can, like the other comedy competition, I'll pull a set list out of my ass. It's not going to be brand new stuff. It'll be written stuff.
You just know that joke will work at this moment.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly will work. Yeah.
And that's a key thing to know.
No, you have to be. You can't be rigid. You have to be flexible.
And I mean, sometimes the universe just sets you up perfectly. I mean, like last night, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's like I didn't know what joke I wanted to tell, and I was just like.
Well, I'm just glad. Like, seriously, sorry to interrupt, but I'm glad that actual people showed up, because for the most of the time it was just pretty much everybody just telling jokes to the other comedians, which is fine, I guess. But to me, when you're at a show, if it's just comedians, that's not really an audience.
No, it's not. Yeah, and I did. We did get some people in there.
Yeah, I finally got some
towards the end.
But I mean, like, even if it's still those other two people, then go up and tell those people jokes. Don't depend on. It's too easy if you're telling jokes to comedians. Some people think an audience of comedians is more difficult because, we're more judgy. We do that shit all the time. But it's actually easier because we're like, oh, okay, there's nobody here. You can tell us the jokes. No, I want to tell the audience. I don't care if it's the fucking bartender's the only one here. Then I'm going to go tell jokes to the bartender.
Yeah, that is the moneymaker. Yeah. None of the comedians are paying you.
Yeah, no shit. And
the audience.
And even if nobody shows up, whatnot, then, the owner comes by and says, like, all right, well, how'd that little comedy show thing go by? It's like, well, the only people here were the comedians. And then they just told jokes to each other. Except for that one guy, he came up and told me jokes. He didn't care about the other guys. He was hilarious. Really? Yeah, I think if we had actual people here, that might work out. Okay. You also got to think about the business side of these things. Like, it's not just about trying to impress people. It's
that part's a headache, man. I'm ready to be done booking. I'm gonna keep booking the Sandbar, but like, I don't know. It's just like too much stress for me at this point, where it's like people bail on the show, and that's annoying. But I was just going to say, the spontaneity thing, just being able to adapt. It's just like I had asked that guy that I was talking to a couple of times. I talked to him during my set. I was like, what's your name? And he's like, Anthony. And I was like, I thought about Anthony Bourdain since you said that, so we'll talk about depression.
Yeah, I noticed you were doing that. That was good stuff, man.
And then I had material.
Like, look at him go!
I had material on depression.
Yeah, see, there you go, man.
I think that's the key to crowd work, is just like setting yourself up for your own jokes.
Kind of, sort of. It all depends. Like, I love watching Andrew Schultz.
Oh, amazing.
He's just completely on the fly. He's not setting up material. Like, I watched his crowd work special, and I was like, yeah, that's...
You want to know his secret?
What?
He fist.
No, he doesn't. But just watching his crowd work, just completely, just talking shit to people, which I think is great. Because ultimately, like in my everyday life and interactions with people, I'm pretty much a lot like that. Especially when you're going on stage, it's a little bit more difficult. I'm slowly but surely learning how to do it, but how to kind of integrate that into my style, which my style is very kind of, I specialize in the absurd. I don't do observational humor. I don't do most of the time I don't do premise, setup, punchline, classical training kind of stuff. I've gone through it, I've done it, it's just, that's not my style. So I try to work that in a little bit, and you have to...
What is your style? What's your favorite joke cadence and type? And that's the way that I wrote the topic. So that's why I said it so awkwardly.
Well, you can call my style the art of comedy without comedy.
So that's it for that topic.
All right.
What do you think is like comedy like communities? Because it is kind of like a fellowship of open mic people, and it's I think beneficial overall.
Well, yeah. Well, let me backtrack to the previous question though about like comedic styles and whatnot.
Sure.
I do enjoy telling jokes, but like I said, I like to specialize in the absurd. But I also enjoy, I've started to incorporate using guitars in it. A little bit of musical numbers. I sing little songs a cappella or with a guitar. I think it's important not just to make the crowd laugh. That's what a comedian does. But also, I think it's important to put on a show to entertain people. Okay.
I was thinking we could do some sort of entertaining thing for this podcast.
Like what?
You grab that guitar and just start playing whatever you want, and I will say funny songs.
Oh, okay, sure, we could do that. Sure, but I don't use that one for. That's the electric acoustic. This is my electric. That's the electric acoustic.
That's fancy.
Oh, this is Raven. This is Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
I saw her tit.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, Janet Jackson, Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's Janet Jackson. That's not her. This is Janet Miss Jackson if you're nasty. You got to say the whole thing. It's like
Janet Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a pimp named Slipback.
Why do you call it Janet Miss Jackson? Because she's black?
No, because it's funny. What the fuck?
Sorry. I assumed.
No, but I think it's important to not just tell jokes. Overall, what you're doing when you're telling jokes to people, making them laugh on command, and it takes a while to be able to do that successfully.
And it's a lot of that too. It's just like little things.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's ultimately the bottom line is you are putting on a show. You are entertaining people. You are entertaining them with jokes. You can also
train them.
You can get to, and you can also look at what Bo Burnham does. He's kind of does music.
Did you watch his Alone thing or not Alone? Inside.
Yeah, I tried watching it, but it was like some of it. I started watching it, and then some of it I identify with this way too much. I gotta save this for another time.
I didn't watch it. I need to watch it.
No, it's
on my to-do list.
Pretty fucking good. But he'll do. I saw an older video clip of him when he's talking about doing joke comedy show with some theater involved. And that's kind of what I like to do. I like to put on a show because that's what you're doing is entertaining people.
It is.
And I find that limiting yourself to just the classic style of again, it's classic set of premise, set of punchline. I find that to be limiting. I find it to be too much of in the box, stay between the lines. Whereas, I didn't like. That's what I'll kind of refer back to it. That's how I was trained by the best of the best to do whatever the fuck I wanted to get these laughs and to entertain people. Thanks to Mitzi Shore in the Comedy Store.
But if there's no punchline, where
there's always a punchline. It depends on what exactly is a punchline. How do you define that?
To me, it's a sequence of words that elicit eruption. And to me, I can tell...
Okay, fair enough. But I think ultimately, it elicits, an eruption, a reaction, hopefully a humorous reaction from the audience. But it doesn't have to be a sequence of words.
Eruption is in rage. When I do punchlines, people want to fight.
Fair enough. Make sure you check out Donovan Stroud Comedy as soon as possible.
This Wednesday...
We'll be performing at the local fight club.
Yes, this Wednesday. Actually, you can catch me at 421 Bush River Road at Extreme Bar. It's $5 to get in and $20 if you want to drink. So come check me out. It's an open mic too. You can come check it out. You gonna be there this Wednesday?
Yeah, sure. I'll check it out right over there.
Dude, right by. Barry White put that together.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram actually.
He's wanting to do a lot for the scene, which is one thing I wanted to mention. Is just what do you think about comedy as a community? And
we actually got a pretty good comedy community. I think there's a little bit of cliquishness going around.
No,
I think there's a couple of couple groups, if you will. I think some people view it as. I think that's a natural thing, though. I don't view it as a bad thing. I think it's just a natural thing, just groups of people.
It is natural.
It's okay.
I do understand it.
But, I understand it. It's okay to me. I think it's just natural. And then, but don't separate yourself into, well, these guys are kind of a clique and these guys are kind of a clique and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit?
I do think about it. It's just I would, if I didn't care about public opinion, book only my friends. I would. But to me, it's just too obvious of a move. You know what I mean?
Mm.
When I see it done, it's just this is pretty fucking obvious. But,
Well, here's the thing, though. Sometimes I can see that happening, sometimes not. For me personally, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing.
Me personally, because the bottom line is, are you funny?
That's all that matters.
Can you put on a show? Can you entertain people? Are you fucking funny? I remember I said
Can you fit your fist in your whole ass?
Yeah, that too. But a friend of mine, I was performing at Uncle Fester's and I said something, I don't remember what I said exactly, but her response was, "It's not a competition, Dan." And I was like, yes, the fuck it is.
Because you want to be the funniest.
Yeah, I want to be the best around. Nothing's ever gonna take me down.
Dude, what can you play? Can you play anything?
Yeah, I can play some stuff. No,
do you need to go grab it?
Yeah, sure. It's right there. Hold on.
So this is the Donovan only portion. Dan is stretching for the guitar that he's about to grab.
Sure.
You might think that he would stretch his fingers or his arms. No. He just stretched his pelvis. Put his whole fist in there.
Actually, I just had to crack my hip bones there.
Dude, that was impressive the way you did that.
No, dude, there's a lot of years of skateboarding and taekwondo as a teenager, so my ankles, hips, and knees are always popping.
And the reason I also wanted you to do this, Dan, is because I've been wanting to sing lately.
What, seriously?
Yeah, I want to be like a comedian that also sings.
So you're a biter. You bite my style. Copycat.
Or we can
Joke stealers. That's what you fucking doing? Nobody. When I came back to Columbia, man, and I finally jumped into the scene, and I started belting out some shit. Nobody else was doing it. Well, T-League doesn't count. T-League doesn't count.
But here I am, trying to...
Sure, if you want to sing some shit, go
steal
ahead.
your thunder.
Steal thunder all you want, man. I don't care. What would you like?
Whatever you can play.
Okay.
No, I'm just trying to come up with something.
We'll start with an easy one. You might know this.
I want to suck a fat. I don't know. Just kidding. I'm not gonna go that way. No, I'm not. I'm gonna reassess and think about what I'm gonna say on the podcast. It's mine anyway. Here with Dan, I say, Dan, what can you provide to?
Would you like to try
Dan?
actually singing, not just saying words?
Not just what?
I like to suck dick.
Well,
it's not singing.
Well, it's fucking. It's That's.
Did you not recognize the tune?
That's Pixies.
Yeah.
And that's how they sound to me.
Wow. I should fight club you right now. All right, we'll make it easy. See, is there anything else I know? No, I'll just fuck around then. Yeah. All right, I'll give you an easy one. You should know this.
Do you ever like just freestyle? Because I don't know any songs.
I'm not good enough of a guitarist for that kind
I'm
of
not
shit.
that good of a pianist, but I just like play random shit on the piano. I don't know any specific songs on the piano.
Oh, I mean, sometimes the way that I write these comedy songs, I'll just usually be watching something on YouTube or some shit, and then it'll just come to me.
Like when you have a fist in your ass?
No.
Coming?
Like the Goodbye My Love, that song, my best one one of the first songs that I wrote is just fucking so good up there. It's catchy as fuck, and then the audience sings along. The first time I did it on stage, the audience immediately sang along because of the repetition of it. But I was watching these guys, a couple of guys that I really enjoyed their comic book movie trailer reactions, and their sponsor was Donner, not Danner, but Donner Guitars.
The reindeer? And Blitzen?
No. You're ruining everything. Stop it. So they had a sponsor for Donner Guitars. Anyway, so they're fucking around. One of them can actually play guitar. And then the guy made a joke, like right at the end of the sponsored little section of the sponsored video, right? The guy made a joke. He's like, goodbye, my love. And they laughed. And I was like, it came just like that. Bam! Lightning in a bottle. I grabbed the guitar and I was like, goodbye, my love. I have to poop.
This
just
is
like
exclusive.
that.
I thought you were about to do the whole thing.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
You
man,
gotta come see the shows. You gotta pay. I'm professional level.
You have to hear the next part of Goodbye, My Love. There's Goodbye, My Love.
There's Goodbye, My Love. I have to poop.
Oh,
but
you
it came to me that simply, and then it just flowed immediately like that.
And that's
I'm
the
just
punchline.
messing around. Oh no,
Goodbye,
that's
My
not
Love, I have to poop.
that's not the punchline. The punchline is the whole. When you come see the shows, you'll understand what it's all about.
But Goodbye, My Love, I Have to Poop is funny in and of itself.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, that classifies as...
Well, the punchline is the whole bit. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what do you consider a punchline to be. It can be the entire fucking song. It can be, a facial expression. The punchline doesn't matter. What matters is eliciting the reaction. What you're trying to do as a comedian, you're trying to make people laugh on purpose, on command.
Right.
It's not an easy skill. It's a skill you develop.
So you
over
at least
time.
need to identify when those moments are.
Oh yeah, but it has to come naturally. With the classic setup, premise setup punchline, you can do it that way. But there's so many other different ways. Like in everyday life, when you're just freestyling, you're not trying. It comes naturally. Your interactions with people.
Oh, I try. I try to do punchlines, being funny with random people.
It should be coming. It comes naturally to you as a comedian.
It's not natural. I try way too hard. It's actually unhealthy.
Oh, he's a tryhard. All right.
Dude, I love playing video games and starting to actually sweat from trying hard.
Wait, so you when you put in God of War, you actually put the setting on "Give me God of War"?
I play Fallout 4 on the hardest difficulty.
Lame.
And I play Mobile Legends on my phone. It's a phone game. And
hashtag sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsor me Mobile Legends. I stream on there. They have it to where like on the game you can sign up to be a streamer, and there's just thousands and thousands, however many people sign up to be streaming. It's like thousands and thousands of people just streaming at all times, because there's thousands of people playing the game at all times, and it's not that hard to sign up to be a streamer. All it does is just show people like your game that you're in. You don't have to do any voice, anything like that.
Yeah, how come you haven't? By the way, how come you haven't gotten like a little portable like keyboard and take some of that shit on stage and start doing little songs like that?
That's a good idea.
Because basically, I'm at best I'm an intermediate beginner guitarist. Like, you should come by the Uncle Fester show sometime. You'll see real guitarists. When I went there, I was like, oh shit. But it made me.
You didn't put your guitar back in the car at that point?
No, I didn't puss out. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing this. And then, besides, it made me better at it. It just made me
competition makes you better.
Yeah, exactly. It's always
good competition.
It's always a competition. Look, let me put it to you this way. Okay, I know I'm not trying to sound egotistical or some shit like that. Look, because of where I came from, because I went to the fucking big leagues when I was younger, and it still holds true even in the minor leagues here, okay? It's always a competition. Maybe not with other people, maybe not with yourself, whatever. You're always competing to be the best that you can possibly be so that you will get noticed by booking agents, by managers, okay?
Your father.
If you got issues like that, you're good. Okay. But it's always a competition. Like every open mic, you want to be the best comedian there. You want to be the best for yourself and try to develop and whatnot. But there's always a chance that somebody might be there who can hook you up with a paying gig, okay? And if you're not the best comedian, because guess what? If I'm a booking agent for a major club or some shit, I'm in town, like, oh, here's an untapped resource. Here's a bunch of local, a really good comedy scene there. I want to see what comedians are there, because you know what? I'm going to book the best comedian in this show.
And there are, like I said earlier, it's just like moments where the universe rewards you.
Oh yeah.
Because, like I said this earlier, it's just like, this is Don't Go Postal. It's about, I wanted it to be, when I started this, about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when it's like, I just want to stay inside.
Oh yeah.
I just want to stay inside and not go anywhere. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to this mic. But then you go to the mic, and you get instantly rewarded with some sort of fulfilling conversation or just like piece of data that you see or hear, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I've had those experiences where I don't feel it, but I need to perform and I want to, but you go and do it and you're like, I'm so fucking glad I'm there. I'm so glad I did that. And there's other times when, and knowing that, and then other times when you actually don't go, and you're like, I should have fucking gone, man.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you feel the worst.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the worst at beating myself up.
Oh, yeah. As a comedian, comedians are like, they're always going to be their own worst critics.
I don't cut myself or anything like that.
I just masturbate furiously.
Dude, do you have chafing?
No, dude. It's called lotion. What the fuck? Or what kind of socks are you using? Don't use the woolly winter socks, man. Silk lined.
I figured like after I have a hard day at work, just those are the best ones.
Yeah, after I have a hard day at work, I have a hard dick at home. Hard day, hard dick, ladies. All right.
So you work at pest control now?
Yeah, I do pest control. I've done that for basically when I left.
Is that like keeping people that look like you away from women? Because that's what pest control to me.
No, that's stalker control. That's different. That's
yeah.
That's called being a policeman.
I'm gonna legit. Oh, you were a policeman?
But no.
Oh.
Fuck no, I'm way too much of a pussy for that.
I was about to say, because there was a police car that parked like shit outside at your.
Like because they started showing up a little bit more often lately, just because there was a shooting. I think last week or some shit.
You are on that side of town.
Yeah, usually it's like about a mile away where you can hear it, but it was just like one row over, and they're popping off, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not fireworks. Just instinct from living in bad neighborhoods previously.
You never know.
On the other side of the recliner.
I mean, it could be gunshots or National Coming Out Day. People put off fireworks.
No, dude, you can tell when it's not fireworks. It's just, ooh, that's not good. So actually, over there at the recliner, I jumped on the other side and got down, even though I'm on the second floor. I'm not fucking around. I've been around too much bullshit.
So pest control, you work there now?
Yeah, I do pest control for the day job now. Getting back into since I came back to the States. Actually, when I left LA, one of the first jobs I got into was doing pest control. It's a fulfilling job. It's not. I've done corporate work. When I came back from LA, eventually I ended up creating a completely different career in video editing and animation. Got to a high corporate level.
Porn.
Yeah, and I got to a high level where I was making a lot of money, but I was miserable. Pest control is a type of job where I get to work outside. I get to drive around in a truck all day long by myself, basically talking to myself, but really I'm just talking to an imaginary audience.
Basically the mailman.
Yeah, and I get to work on jokes all day long, basically, because I'm by myself, nobody's fucking with me. And a lot of the times, like, I'll write jokes that day and take it up on stage that night.
Oh yeah, that's how I do as well sometimes.
Yeah.
I do listen to a lot of Audible books. Try and learn.
Interesting. Not me. I'm just fucking going for it. I'm just writing off shit. Like, what am I going to do tonight? Or I'll see something that will catch my attention, just like the way I wrote the Goodbye My Love. Something will just spark it, and I'll just go, oh, okay, Or sometimes I'll go to a customer's house and I'll come out.
Instead of Goodbye My Love, it's Palmetto Bug.
Yeah, pretty much. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Or sometimes I'll just come out with bits about, people and they're stupid. Like I had a decent bit that when I use it around adults, it's a weird thing. Like younger groups, they don't get it because they're fucking stupid. But the older crowd gets it. I think it was one of the open mics, or maybe it was the 10-minute show, that joke worked at the Sandbar. The bit works. I showed up at the guy's house and I was like, hey, how's it going? I'm Dan the Bug Man, here to do your mosquito spray for you. Are there any dogs in the backyard, any animals? And he goes, oh yeah, there's a puppy. Just like that, with the pause. And so I go, okay, could you please bring the dog inside, sir? Say, oh, are you going to spray? No, I'm going to bake a cake, you stupid motherfucker. Will you please bring the dog inside?
Right.
What the fuck? But I'll encounter shit like that. Of course, I exaggerated for joke purposes.
What did you really tell him when he said that? Were you like dumbfounded?
No, I was like, yes, I'm here to do your mosquito spray. Okay. What the fuck?
Like it just didn't click the first time.
No, it just didn't click, and I just remember laughing to myself about it, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm using this shit.
ADD is a real thing. Mental health, everybody needs to get diagnosed.
Mental health is a very serious issue, but not paying attention to somebody who's talking directly to you, this motherfucker just dumb. By the way, just because this guy had a big-ass house, nice cars, just because you have money doesn't mean you're smart.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes you're lucky.
Just because you have a college education doesn't mean you're smart.
Yeah, shit. Oh, look at me. Oh, look at me. I have a piece of paper that says I paid a bunch of fucking money, read some books, took a test, and I passed it. I am so smart. I am so smart. S-M-A-R-T. Fuck out of here. Your college degrees.
Any previous jobs?
Especially you fucking doctors with your fucking, viruses say, fuck you. I know it's real. I read it on Facebook. Anyway, previous jobs, you say?
You went off there.
Political statements, right?
Yeah.
Previous jobs, and I've done so many fucking jobs. Let's see.
Anything notable?
Notable?
You ever been fired?
Have I been fired?
I'll lead off. I have.
I'll
share that story if you'd like to hear it.
I'm not sure if I've been... Oh yeah, I was let go. I was fired. That motherfucker. I was thrown under the bus to protect a man. I was a new guy. I worked at that job for a month.
Where?
I won't tell you. But I worked at this job for a month.
Why?
I was getting trained. I was getting trained at this fucking job. I was there for a month. I was a new guy getting trained by this one specific manager. And I got thrown under the bus to protect him because some people complained and it was an issue, but they decided that to throw me under the bus and blame me for it when it was him. This guy was fucking weird, man. But he brought in a lot of money for the company, and it was an incorporated company, so they like that fucking moolah. This guy was fucking weird. I think maybe some sort of slight autism or something, perhaps. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's on the spectrum because his social skills were a bit off. Something wasn't right. I would describe him as a theater dork because I told him, yeah, I do stand up and whatnot, and he was like, oh yeah, I know what that's like. I did theater in high school. I think that's 50. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not the same thing. And you did that in high school. I do this now. Like, oh, yeah, same, I do it. But, like, he was always playing. Like, he played too much. Like, he'd be fucking, I'm trying to, like, drive around, he'd give me directions, but he'd be fucking with me. I'm driving around. I got to the point where I got, like, angry. Like, okay, I need you to drive because you're making me nervous. You need to drive.
Just like while you're driving, he's just like, hey man, like.
He's fucking kind of shit like that, or giving me the wrong directions and fucking with me. I'm like, dude, you're the manager. I'm the new guy. You need to be training me.
You're driving, and he's like, what does John Cena do?
Yeah, I can't see me. Well, here's the kind of shit he would do. Like, we're dealing with apartments, right? Going inside and outside of apartments. Whenever we would walk into an apartment where there was a black family living there, or just plain black people inside the apartment, he would immediately click into a fucking, like, Aunt Jemima accent. No bullshit. Now, he's from, where was he from? Virginia Beach, but you should still know, common sense, you don't want, I swear to God, he actually said this shit. You should have seen the look on my fucking face. We walk in there, it was around lunchtime. We walk in there, these nice folks are making lunch, and he goes, oh, what we cooking for lunch? Chicken? This is a black thing. Yeah. Yeah. And my face was like, what? Here's me just, what we cooking for lunch? Chicken? Here's my face. Immediately, because, as a white guy who grew up in the South, I'm looking at this black family like, holy shit. And they just, like, the wife and the husband, they're kind of older. They're about, like, 60 or so. They looked at him like, here's their face. And they looked over at me, and I'm just like, they see my wide eyes,
They know that they see you. They're like, he's an ally.
Yeah, I'm like, I got this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. What the fuck?
So he says that, and that's the guy you got fired for.
Yeah, he said that kind of shit, that type of shit. That he said exactly that. Well, you cook for lunch, chicken. He would say that type of shit.
It sounds like Michael from The Office.
Yeah, that's a great way to fucking describe it. Perfect way to describe it. He would always do that shit. We were at a how do you pronounce it? It was back in Holland we called it a Lidl. It's called a Lidl here, whatever. That grocery store that's German. We were there doing some stuff, and we went to go talk to the manager before we left, who was a black woman. And what does he do as soon as he sees that she's black? Fuck it. Oh, hey, girl, what's going on with you?
What'd you eat for breakfast? Watermelon?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? And she was like having none of that shit. She was like, whatever, cutting him off to one-word answers and shit. She was not having his bullshit.
Man.
And I was just like, Jesus.
Good for her, though. Good for her.
Yeah. And
I mean, you gotta fucking.
We were at this one apartment complex that this big corporate company owned. It was their flagship property. They owned many of them, and we were there. And we serviced all their properties, but this was the flagship property. And while we're waiting for something going on in the office, he goes over and stares at the window, and there are these teenage girls swimming in the swimming pool. And he keeps staring at them, making comments, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You need to quit playing.
Wow, that's so interesting that racism and pedophilia would be from the same person.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, you need to, hey, buddy, why don't we go over here? Why don't you stop looking at, because he kept playing around all the time. I was like, hey, why don't you stop looking at the teenage girls, buddy? And then basically the manager, some shit, they construed it as, when I got fired, let go, they said, yeah, he talked about teenage girls. Because I said, hey, man, why don't you stop looking at those teenage girls?
So you got fired for saying that?
Yeah, so hey, why don't you stop looking at those teenage girls? I was fired for that. Because, like I said, I got thrown under the bus because this guy.
He said that. You said that, or
no? The girls at the office said because it was obvious that he was doing something. Something wasn't right. But the report was that I talked about. I don't remember exactly what they said, but I said, hey, why don't you stop looking at those teenage girls? And then I got fired, and it was. The main office came down when I came into work the next Monday morning. Like, hey, man, the manager at my place, he's like, I'm so sorry, man. You're a good worker, but I gotta let you go. This is what happened.
What the fuck?
I was not given a chance to tell my side of the story or defend myself or just say, what the fuck? I was telling him he's the one who was doing this shit, and he's also talking about fried chicken and water. What the fuck? So I got let go.
Well, he'll get let go eventually, because I mean, the world has a way of.
Oh no, it was. Karma's a bitch. I know that for a fact.
You killed him?
Because, of course, I know she's a bitch because she's an ex-girlfriend of mine, but we're good friends. See, about 2 years later, I happened to see his resume cross my path, and I'm like, Really?
He was applying for
a job over at a place I was working, and I was like, And so I said, hey, when did this resume come in here? Oh yeah, just the other day. And I was like, I know who this guy is. Like, really? What do you know about him? And then I basically told them what I just told you. And they're like,
hand it off to the manager that's gonna like interview him, and she's like a black lady. You're like, here, you can handle this.
No, I just talked to my supervisor and the owner of the company.
I don't know. That was a reach.
It was a small company, so I told him, I said, yeah, this is the guy. This is what happened. Do not hire him. And
okay.
And I was like, and something suspicious. I think maybe they finally fired his ass because the position he was at was a pretty high one. He was like assistant.
So he was using his power to fucking...
to do whatever the fuck, but I was like,
stare at kids.
If he's applying for basically a position similar to mine, I'm just a basic, tech. If he's applying, this guy was like a high up, like assistant branch manager. Like I said, he was bringing in money. So if this guy's an assistant branch manager, but now he's applying for a low level job like mine,
he must have lost everything.
They must have finally caught him red handed and fired his ass. Do not, And then I told them, they're like, oh hell no, fuck that guy.
We have Google. We can Google him and find him right now.
No.
Post
Karma
his
already got
address.
his ass. No doxing for his dumb ass. He already got his. And he was always listening to, like, the latest, like, pop music, like the stuff, kids listen to these days, like 104.7 and shit. And he talked about how him and his wife love to go get laser rejuvenation skin treatments and shit. Like, he was so, like, wanted to keep...
Adrenochrome?
No. Like, laser treatments on the skin to make them be or feel younger, look younger kind of thing. And, he always... Something was just off. Something was just off.
Okay.
It's just weird. But anyway.
Yeah, any kind of like anybody that decides to do like fucking plastic surgery.
I know the weirdest thing also, like him and his wife, they got married at 18. They were high school sweethearts, and they were virgins when they got married. They immediately had kids and whatnot. And it's just a whole weird thing where, like, now that their kids were grown and left, they're trying to be like they were trying to live as if they were 20-year-olds, but now that they're 50. And it's like, you missed out. I know you were taught this clean living, this is what you're supposed to do, but now you realize that we missed out on so much. But dude, it was weird.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my story.
At least he's got a family. I guess that's like a redeeming quality, I think, in anybody. Is if you may be this person, that person, but I mean, look, he's got good seed. Yeah. He's got a wife that was willing to carry that seed into her belly for 9 months and then provide problems for them to not have any fun. And then they do that for 20 plus years, and they're like, the kids are gone. All right, now we can go play laser tag. And they go and they shoot themselves in the face.
Okay, fair enough. Here's a question for you, Donovan.
That was a good callback, I think, to the whole like laser rejuvenation.
Okay, figured. Okay. Here's a question for you. Why do you do comedy?
I like being funny and I like attention.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I love it.
You really cut to the base of it. Yeah.
I like being funny. I like attention. I like the attention being on me. Yeah, for sure.
Fair enough.
We were going to talk about my upbringing in comedy. You had wanted to talk about that as well. I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I can tell you if you're interested, and we'll just run through it real quick.
Sure.
But it's through my wife. She took me to an improv class. It was just like not a class as much as just like a meetup. This guy who, Jack Mala, shout out Jack, he does like an improv meetup where just random people sign up on this meetup app to just go do improv practice.
Mm-hmm.
And he had, Googled, find out, like through experience or whatnot, a bunch of different just improv games that were fun as shit. So fun. The improv games. Just, it's fun to me. I found it so fun.
Fucking hate improv, dude. With passion.
I found it so fun.
No.
I did try and they called me very blue. They were like, you're
working blue, which means you're not family friendly. That's the term. That's industry terms, people. If you work blue, that means you swear a lot and say dirty shit.
That was me. Yeah,
I work blue.
Every time it was like
fuck clean comedy. It's for pussies.
Yeah, people that do clean comedy have skeletons in their closet. They are rapists or something.
Yeah, but if you do clean comedy, then a larger market is available to you.
And that larger market is probably going to get raped by that person in the future.
Anyways.
Like,
you can do kiddie shows and you can...
Oh, jeez. That's the life.
Living the life, baby. Popping a wet one in a youngster's butt. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
that is sarcasm, by the way. That is sarcasm for crying out loud.
Too vivid.
That's vivid. Sarcasm. Take it easy.
Too vivid. Too vivid. The image in my head just ruined it.
Is that why your fucking shorts got tight all of a sudden? Fucking Boner Town, USA.
Oh, you got me. What were we talking about before that?
Okay, you were doing the improv.
Right, yeah. She took me to that. I was having so much fun with that. I really did enjoy it, but she wanted to find something else for me, so she took me to an open mic. And I wanted to go up that night. It was at New Brooklyn Tavern, and I was like, I think I should, I'm going to see like if they'll let me up. And I ended up not asking. She was like, you should probably write something. And, she wasn't wrong.
Fucking wives always dragging their husbands down.
Just bringing the man down.
Tisk.
But I did. I went and wrote, and I wrote something that I made my mom laugh really hard with a joke. And I figured that was probably the joke that I would have as like my first joke. It was like something that I made my mom laugh at.
Okay.
But she was doing push-ups for soldiers that had committed suicide. It was like a Facebook challenge.
Okay.
She had to do 26 push-ups for 26 soldiers that was the average that killed themselves in a month. Yeah. And she calls and tells me that, and I tell her, you don't have to do all of them. You can just do like 2 or 3. She's like, what are you talking about? I have to do all of them. And I was like, well, they quit. You can too.
Damn.
And it was one of those where she shook her head, she was like, oh, and then she just started laughing really hard right after. But
yeah, it's one of those jokes where you're laughing at something because it's fucked up, not because hey, yeah, it's like, no, you're like, oh man, that's
nobody's cheering on. That's the thing. It's just like, who in their right fucking minds, if you have logic, in common sense, why would you think that people laughing at that means that they're cheering on something like that?
Yeah, no. It's like there's different types of laughter. Chappelle talked about it when he left the Chappelle show. He talked about how some bit about, there was the Black Pixie bit or some shit. When they released it, you could actually see it. But he said some guy on the crew was the way he was laughing at it. He wasn't laughing like you normally laugh at Chappelle show jokes, like, oh my god, that's hilarious because that's so fucked up, and yeah, we need to change this because that kind of shit we don't.
He was laughing
but he was laughing like, hey, yeah,
yeah. That's exactly it.
Like a Klansman laughing at a racist joke, it's laughing the wrong fucking way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's common sense these days. That's why it's okay to kind of make jokes that are fucked up jokes because they are fucked up. That's why we laugh at it because it's fucked up, not because we enjoy it.
I do think there is some sort of issue with having a big platform and saying shit without really thinking it through. And I do try and work on that because I could say some shit just a fucked up joke, but there's a lot of people going through mental issues now, and they may see that in a different way as a way of justifying something.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. You know what I mean? It could be taken the wrong way.
Sometimes you gotta do I never what I call my golden closer, the blind asswipe joke. Okay, I never used to do disclaimers in front of it, but now these days with younger generations coming up and stuff, I say, look, I do not endorse nor am I okay with any kind of bigotry or making fun of disabled folks of any kind. This joke that I wrote, it's an honest question that's how I wrote the joke. It's an honest question. How the fuck do blind people know when they're done wiping their ass? I really don't know. And I'm not making fun of them. That's an honest, because it came out of my own curiosity and my own ignorance. And then I tell the joke. Because some people will be like, what the fuck? By the way, I accidentally told that joke to a blind man once. Very seriously. I told...
You told how do you know when you're done wiping your ass?
How do blind people know when they're done wiping their ass? Accidentally. I forgot. I told him the whole fucking joke. He laughed, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I just remembered you're fucking blind. I'm so sorry. And he kept laughing. He's like, no, dude, it's all good.
They have a good sense of humor.
No. Well, he did. I can't speak for all, but he did. And I think he understood that, dude, you weren't... I could tell you weren't trying to make funny one. Now you treated me like an actual a regular person. I appreciate that.
I said that they have a good sense of humor, and I definitely did generalize there. So that's like one of those things, right? It's just like, as far as not taking into consideration the full extent of what I'm saying. Because I did just generalize an entire group of people.
Yeah, but don't take yourself be so hard on yourself like that. It's, don't be a part of the pussification of a generation,
Well, I just want to be aware of those things. I think it's important to be aware. Like you said with the disclaimer, you're at least aware that somebody could be.
A big part of it, I think, especially with comedy nowadays, and just people in general. If you say something that offends people or whatnot, and if they come to you, hey, I'm offended by what you said, I have no problem telling them, oh, look, hey, I'm sorry that I offended you. I did not mean it that way, okay? And I say, well, I'm really mad. Like, okay, again, I'm really sorry that I offended you. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. I'm not going to take back what I said because I honestly did not mean it that way. Well, I'm still offended. Okay, well, at this point, you're just being a fucking pussy, all right? I already apologized, and I already told you I honestly did not mean it that way. If that's not enough for you, then you're a fucking pussy. Yeah. Fuck off, okay?
So let it loose, Dan.
Do you have any idea how fucking terrible the world and reality really is, but you want to fucking bitch at me for this shit?
You want me to accommodate for you?
Yeah, accommodate for you. And again, I will make the effort to help you, to apologize that I offended you and to make sure you understand.
But other than the apology, no effort.
Yeah, other than the honest apology and sincere, like, I did not mean it that way and I'm sorry that I offended you, okay? But if you want to keep pressing the fucking issue, I'm going to have to call you out, okay?
Sopranos.
Whatever your fucking issue is. Okay, look, I'm the type where I don't care what country, what culture, what language you speak, which God you believe in, what your sexual orientation, your fucking gender identity, black, white, man, woman, gay, straight, and everybody else in between. I hate to break it to you, but you're not fucking special, okay?
None of us.
Everybody is a stupid asshole, okay?
Especially me.
Everybody, especially both of us, okay? You are not special. No matter who you are, where you're from, you're just a stupid asshole like everybody else. And do you know why? Because that is what actual, factual, realistic equality really is.
Amen, brother.
Anything that I've said to you that offended you, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to offend you. I didn't mean it that way. But if you're still going to keep pressing on me, go fuck yourself. You're not a unicorn princess. You're just a stupid asshole like everybody else.
Are you spiritual, Dan?
Yeah. I'm an agnostic Jedi. May the Force be with you. If you get that joke.
Cool. I like the Force part.
But you get this, right?
Spock. Star Trek. I didn't see you do that.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I find atheism to be a bit boring. But, yeah. You're spiritual.
Yeah, it's a long I grew up, I went to a Methodist church.
Oh, okay.
And then also went to a Baptist school. So I was getting both, double penetrated, like two fists.
You're rotisserie'd.
Dude. But, yeah, man. I don't want to get into all that. I've talked about that too.
How long have we been going for, man?
We've an hour and a half. So I think we can call it.
Yeah, we can call it. Want to? We continue another time, whatnot. We got
of course.
We had a couple serious subjects, a couple of hilarities and whatnot.
I mainly just wanted to get the Comedy Store stuff because, like I said, I'm infatuated.
It's pretty cool. Like if I could afford it, I probably still wouldn't. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there, but I just don't have it in me to do big cities anymore, man. Fuck that shit.
Plus, LA is the Gestapo.
Jesus. But no, I'm happy with what I've got here in Columbia. We've got a great scene going here. It's building up. Besides, technology has changed. All you got to do, and like I say, it's always be the best. You know who it's always a competition, but with yourself, to be honest. It's not with the other comedians. You want to be the best for yourself so that the booking agent books you, okay?
Right.
And if he doesn't book you, he books the other guy. Don't be pissed at the other guy. Get better.
Speaking of bookings, where can people find you to book you, and where can they find you to follow you and keep up with your shows and anything you produce that is funny?
Dannerland. Danner, that's my last name, and land. Dannerland. Find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram. Go to dannerland.com.
Well, you heard it here. Find Dan and let him know what you think about his
go to my YouTube, because I try to make it a habit of every set. I film every set, and it goes up on YouTube.
Do you really?
Pass, fail. Oh yeah, bomb, kill. I film every set. Because I restarted my YouTube. I need to take my old Amsterdam ones and put those back up. But I film every set and put it up on YouTube. But of course, the times when I forget, or like whatever happens, like the competition or the one I did the show at the Sandbar, like every time I forget to fucking film, I fucking kill the shit. God damn it!
Oh yeah,
it's like fucking bad luck. But
the one at the Sandbar, I made sure to record, but then like the other one I was telling you about, because that was, like I said, and I will get into this real quick. Let me make sure that before we get out of here, because I just forgot one thing that I was gonna make sure to talk about, because like I said, last night was my first headlining set. That's like the third or fourth time that I've done 15 minutes. I think it's the fourth. First time was for some farmers at an event, and I did 12 minutes, but they enjoyed it. So instead of the $50 that I was promised, they gave me $100.
Nice, dude.
Great first time.
That's wild.
Great first time doing a longer set. Second time was for South Carolina Wildlife. They had an auction, and I delivered the mail, and they know I was a comedian. They're like, you want to be the comedian entertainment for this auction, where we're going to have literal things being auctioneered off at like the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you can do as much time as you want. And this was right before my vacation. Luckily, I went on vacation literally the day after.
Oh, I bet.
And thank God, because I was traumatized for that entire week because I bombed so bad. It was a room full of people, probably like 200 plus people. And
nice.
I was on stage in front of them all. There was a barrier. So all I saw was my top half. And my top half was literally a shirt that looks like a picnic table. That could have had something to do with it, in my mind. It was a Bluetooth mic. I failed with not realizing that I could walk around the entire room, and I didn't do that. You know what I mean? I could have walked around the entire room. I didn't do that. I stayed on stage like a coward. Anyways, I go up there for like 10, 15 minutes, bomb my ass off, and get off stage, and they're like, yeah, you can go up whenever you want again, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll give it some time. They had like a musician guy that was playing in between. He was playing. I go back up after he plays some songs, and I get off stage after about 7 minutes of just bombing again, and called it. And they had already written the check, so it was like, whatever. I'd already gotten the check. I even made that a joke while I was bombing. I was like, I've already gotten paid.
I already got paid, bitch. Doses.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I did end up selling a cane. There was a cane that was not being bought in the auction, because they showed me some stuff. They were like, these aren't selling.
Cane?
No, I scratched my nose, but I did not mean it's because I have a dry skin issue right near my nose, and I'm picking.
Oh yeah, I got those around.
Literally
myself.
Picking skin.
I thought you were talking about
disgusting.
I got that cane.
No, it's like a pudgy cane.
Mm.
Walking cane.
That's racist. It has nothing to do with words. I'm just saying. You see how we stopped? Was it? What? No, it wasn't racist.
I knew it wasn't.
You can always fuck with people. Just say, dude, that's racist, and then they get this confused look. I call it the confusion technique.
Dude, I just have to go to the bathroom. That's racist.
Dude, that's fucking racist. What? Yeah, it's confusion technique. It makes them stop because they.
You ate a Pop-Tart for breakfast? That's racist.
Dude, that's fucking racist. What? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I mentioned it in the set. I was just like, nobody's buying this cane. Like, I know some of you know a handicapped person. And then somebody was like, bet. I do. So there was that one. And then recently, the most recent one, which was a good set, which I didn't record, obviously, because that's how it goes. Anderson, South Carolina at Doolittle's. If you ever get a chance, try and get on that. Robin Scott is
I'm
in charge of her.
Uncle Fester's, man. She's cool as shit.
Oh yeah, she's in charge of it, so talk to her. And that shit paid well, which was surprising because it was mostly comedians and 2 audience members. and I was just playing to the two audience
Oh,
members.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
But there were funny, because they were kind of in... They've seen, like, the open mic community, apparently. They have been there before. And they know kind of, like, it's just like a ragtag group of bros.
So like kind of regulars at the open mic, basically.
Yeah, and so there were, like, these funny moments of just, like, talking to the two audience members. And then, like, I would address the comics. You know, just, like, something, like, a little bit of back and forth. Yeah. But for the most part, I was just owning in on two people. And I did... about like 14 minutes in, 13 minutes, and that was the best I had done in the longest. But then last night, that headlining, the guy, I'm still reaming, so I'll end on that.
Well, it's good to know that you got your a pretty good solid epic bomb out the way on the early.
Yeah, the whole week after the bomb for South Carolina Wildlife, like seriously, I would think about it. And just kind of like, my body would just kind of like cringe a little. Like, seriously. Like a physical, just like, like I did.
That means that was the epic bomb. Every comedian has at least one epic fucking bomb story. You want to hear mine?
Oh, yes. End on this. All right, we got to get out after this.
Yeah, all right. Here's my epic bomb story. I was in Lelystad, the Netherlands, and...
Netherlands?
In the Netherlands. I was living there for 7 years.
Is English your primary language?
Oh, yeah. So I'm in the Netherlands, and one of the guys that I knew from, hanging around the bars, is how I met friends and whatnot. He knew I was a comedian, so... And at this point, I hadn't started taking comedy seriously again. I was just fucking around, doing it just for joy, shits and giggles. And he decided to pay me to go to his... He paid me 30 euros to do comedy at his sister's wedding reception. They had a DJ and they had a comedian. I was the comedian. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, it makes me cringe just thinking about this shit. Anyway, it did not go well. The bride herself came up and took the mic away from me.
That's as bad as it gets. That's as bad as it gets. If you ask... Dude, that's a joke right there. It's like, you could... This is the tweet right here, because I'm on Twitter. You gotta get on Twitter, dude.
I have Twitter, I just don't use it. It's garbage.
You gotta get on it. I'm gonna get back into it, because it's like a way to put yourself out there. But the tweet would be like, if you ever wonder, like what it means to bomb at a wedding reception.
Right. How bad can it get? Well,
it's when
the bride walks up, takes the mic from you.
The mic.
And they were nice, but she wasn't... here's the thing, though. She didn't take the mic from me out of anger or disappointment. She took the mic away from me to save me.
You?
No, to save me. She felt horrible for me. She felt so bad for me that she had to take the mic from me. That's how bad it was. And before I left, the girl that I was with, Fruit Pants, that's what I nicknamed her, she was with me. She immediately we gotta get the fuck out of here now. And it's like, no. We have to deal with this. We just gotta deal with it.
Soak in it.
Gotta soak in it a little bit. We can't just run away like cowards. This is part of it, Fruit Pants. And she's like, God damn, she's fucking double fisting shots. And so before I left, and the buddy was like, oh man, it's fucked up. I was like, well, I went up to the bride and the groom. I was like, hey man, it's like, well, I tried my best, but at the very least, I wanted to do something to make sure that you guys would never forget this night. And the bride goes, oh, you did your job. I will never forget this. I said, all right. But she shook my hand. We all laughed at it because I stuck around. Because I stuck around and soaked in it like coward. We were able to laugh at it. So it ended okay. That's what I say. She wasn't angry with me. She took the mic from me because she felt
trying to
bad
help
for me.
you, yeah.
To save me. But we laughed.
Did it take you a while to realize that she was trying to help you, or were you mad?
No, I knew it immediately. Okay. I knew it was going so bad, dude. It was so bad. Oh my God.
What were you doing that was so bad?
I don't remember. That's how bad it was. I blocked it out.
I remember specifically.
And again, this was because I wasn't doing it on the regular back then. I was just messing around here, very unrefined and not. It
was the blowjob joke about the guy on the mail route.
Oh yeah.
I told that joke and then looked and saw like a teenager in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were too young. They weren't a teenager. They were probably like 12.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. Yeah, it's like, what's the big deal? Teenager, man, who gives a shit?
I said it to make it sound not as bad, but yeah, they were young.
No, okay, yeah. Yeah.
They were probably like 12, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of misread the crowd.
11,
yeah, it happens, yeah.
Misread entirely. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, so did I. I was thinking they're going to enjoy this wild, crazy American shit. No. But it's one of the reasons why that whenever I walk into a room, no matter what show I'm doing, I always check it out. I always plan, always stay flexible. I look at the audience.
Oh yeah.
I've got this great shit. I'm gonna do Thundercats. I poop my pants. I'm gonna do the highest energy stuff I got. Oh no, that is not gonna work for this crowd. Let's change it on the fly. Because if I were gonna, sometimes you're like, well, maybe you can feel it out, but no. You've always got to be ready to adapt in the moment's notice.
I agree, and trust in yourself to be funny. I think that's one thing that I've learned is just trusting in myself in any moment.
Well, also just having enough experience to a couple of really good. You have to have some really bad bombs and an epic bomb, but you have to have a couple of really good wins as well, so that you can know for yourself, I can do this. I can do this. Believe in yourself, kids.
And that can be. I was going to ask you to say like one not promotional, but uplifting kind of like mental health thing.
Okay. Dan Danner's rule of comedy and life. You are going to fail, okay? This is something they never taught me growing up, but you are going to fail. And that's completely okay, because that is a part of life. You have to learn how to fail before you learn how to win, okay? It's just like when you start taking the martial arts. Nobody learns how to fight without first learning how to get their ass kicked. You are going to fail. And you're going to fail miserably, but it's going to be okay because you're supposed to fail. And then you're going to win. Get back up, dust yourself off, and keep failing until you start winning.
That's Dan Danner, everybody. This has been the Don't Go Postal podcast.
Don't Go Postal podcast, bitches.
And, dude, I thank you so much.
All right.
No. Oh, got me. That's a classic Dan Danner move.
Yeah, I know, right?
Y'all have a good night, everybody. We love you.
Have a good night.